In this video, we're going to show you how to install the speed sensor on your Ford Taurus located behind your rear wheels. Using a 19mm socket, loosen and remove the lug nuts. With the lug nuts removed, you can now grab that wheel and remove it and set it aside. We'll go ahead and remove our ABS speed sensor. There's an 8mm bolt holding this in place. So we're going to use our socket, our extension, and this is just our 1/4" ratchet. Okay, loosen it and remove this bolt. We're going to use some penetrant here to try and spray around here because we now need to remove our sensor. If you follow the line over here to this bracket, we can go ahead and slide this up and out. You don't want to grab the wire and pull it up and out. So if you work on both sides and gently wiggle this up, that'll free that. You should be able to spin this in place to rock it back and forth and then pull it out. Sometimes it gets stuck in there. That's why we use that spray lube on there. Sometimes you can grab this here and just gently rock it back and forth, twisting it up and down. You want to just be careful and gently wiggle this around until we can get this free, and then we'll pull that out. So we have this moving a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down and kind of twist this a little bit more and spin this sensor out. Now that we have that out, we're going to set that aside. Follow the wire up underneath the control arm and pull the wire out of that retainer. Just pull it down gentle. If you follow it up, it goes up on top of the rear cradle itself. And we use our trim tool to pop that up and out. Sometimes these plastic retainers will break off. That's not a big issue. You can just push that through the frame. And just follow the wire up and across, and we're going to continue to go ahead and remove this from the other retainers. And if you follow the harness up and over the cradle, there's going to be another retainer right here. It's just by the gas tank strap. Use your trim tool to just get up there, and you want to pop that out. Now there isn't a lot of hand room up in there to get to that. Use whatever tool you have. I'm going to use a pair of long needle nose pliers to kind of get up there and just kind of grab that and just pop that off. And once again, a little plastic retainer broke, not that big of an issue. Just push that rest of it back in there. If we follow the wire up and around, it goes up here behind the gas tank, and it's right by the differential bushing itself. So I want to go ahead and access that next. Now, if you reach it behind the sway bar and up here, you can gain access to this here. Now, it's still tight, but what we need to do is we need to separate the body harness from our sensor here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this whole unit. I'm going to wiggle it free and pop this out. There we go. I was able to finagle that out. That gives us a little more room to work on this. Now, there's a little tab right here we need to push on in order to remove this. Now when you drop this down, right here would normally be a red lock tab, and you should be able to get like a small pocket screwdriver in. You're gonna get it in here and you're gonna gently pry that lock tab out and away. That's gonna allow you to put some pressure right here on this tab, push it in and separate this. Well, on our particular model, it is broken. So I need to use a pick to go ahead and get in here and try and release this lock tab before we can access and release this. Now, since our lock tab was broken up top, you're able to use a flathead screwdriver and come around the back side. You're going to see an opening right here, and you're going to see the remainder of the red lock tab. You can go in the back and push this. You can see that that's starting to come out a little bit. Wait to get that out enough that we can push that tab down. So it might take you a little bit of time if yours is broken. If not, you probably already have this done. And that's going to allow us to go ahead and push in on this. You can see it flexing with my pocket screwdriver, which is perfect. I'm going to push on that tab, and I'm going to go ahead and work that connector free. There it is. Now you notice it's a little bit wet. I did go ahead and spray some rust penetrant on there to try and break up any dust or debris that was stuck in there. That did help a little bit. Now we'll go ahead and feed this back up and over the frame, and we're going to just pull it out from the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our connector, feed that up, push it on, and you're going to feel it and hear it click in, and then push in your red lock tab. And you'll know that you're lined up if that red lock tab slides in nice and easy. I want to pop this back up into the frame up top here. Press ours on. Now we're going to go ahead and feed our wire and our sensor up and over. Feed it up and over. Then we have our little retainer right here. We need to get that into the hole in the subframe here. There we go. Just push it up into that. Now let's go back up and over to the other side and get that installed on the other side of the subframe. Gotta take that harness, I'm gonna line that up. Now I like to push gently on both sides here, working that up into place. I'm gonna feed this around. We have this grommet here we need to put into the bracket right above this bracket here. Pop that in. Then we can go ahead and take our sensor, insert that in, and push that straight in. Go ahead and get your bolt started. I'm just going to thread that in as far as I can by hand. Now these don't have to be super tight. You just want to pretty much snug them down. Now once it bottoms out, literally just snug it gently, that's it. Now at this point here, our harness is installed. Now if you happen to have an ABS light on the dash, you want to go ahead and use a scan tool, properly clear that code, install your wheel, you can go for a road test. Grab your wheel, get that put onto the studs. Now we're going to go ahead and install all of our lug nuts by hand, and once we get them started, we'll go ahead and snug them down. When doing this here, it's preferred if you do it in a crisscross or a star pattern. Now let's go ahead and torque them down. Now let's go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds. And preferably you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. the only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.